We're inside now, so
do I still say you guys all the time?
Panels, right? So we have one
Sound,
right
man.
here, but we also have our main.
Now I'm starting to get pretty tight. The contractor said that we could save the cabinet, and you'll see in the video that wasn't the case. Everything's not always what it seems. Sometimes things will look great on camera. Sometimes the video will look great. You'll think like, oh, everything great happened, but no, that's not always the case. Today we're going to go down a trip on memory lane, so I'm actually going to recap my first house flip. So this is going to be really interesting because this is like my first time looking back on the video since I shot it. And in this video, I'm talking about everything on the house flip. So me purchasing it, the renovation process, all the goods, the bads, and even getting into the numbers and how much I made on the deal. So I'm excited to share this video and this recap with you guys, and looking forward to y'all watching it.
I've been able to purchase 5 properties this year.
5 of them
but
things
this property
last
right
year.
here where I'm estate investing, I've been able to purchase.
Oh, shout out to I see the pictures that have popped in there. One of those is one of the second client I ever worked with, Journey. Shout out to Journey, man. I know I'll probably give her shout outs in other videos, but a couple months ago I was able to go to Dallas, which is the city that she's residing in now. And when I first closed on her home, like for her closing gift, I got her like a bunch of stuff from the Dollar Tree because that's all I could afford at the time. I just felt bad about it, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna always make it up to you. And then now through income I've been able to have as a real estate investor and through other avenues, you know, I have more options where I don't have to get Dollar Tree gifts anymore. So when I was in Dallas, I actually we got some court seats to the Mavericks game, and that was, you know, my gift to her, and kind of going back years and just trying to make things right. So shout out to her. I just got reminded of that because I saw the picture of her up here.
5 properties this year, but this property right here where I'm at is actually my first property in which I'm going to be fix and flipping. So why I'm choosing
first fix and flip project, yeah, looking back on it, that was a beast. I will say I probably should have took on a easier project. That was a beast. There was a lot of things wrong with it. There was a lot of things that went wrong. A lot of bad stuff happened, but we made pretty good profit on it. It wasn't as much as I wanted to, but I mean, we'll get into it in the video anyways.
Welcome to my project. We're inside now. So
do I still say you guys all the time?
You say you guys all the time.
All right, so it is a great thing that I had real estate experience beforehand, even though I had never done a flip, because the things that I'm talking about, like, yeah, these were definitely things that got brought up during the process, and I'm glad I fixed it. Like the foundation, repairing the foundation, we did that. Replacing the drywall, we did that. Instead of like trying to maintain the fireplace, we just went ahead and put electrical fireplace in, so we didn't get hit with any of that on the home inspection. And I know for sure that would have came up during the process. So shout out to the knowledge, being a real estate professional prior to it. And if you guys are watching, that's why I always say you want to partner up with somebody before doing your first deal if you don't have prior real estate knowledge.
Is that the sliding door they did replace recently. You can tell because the tag and such is still on it. So this is a good thing. It's still, if everything else is new, it just makes sense, you know, to replace these and such. You know, for
funny story. Okay, so my appliances, I replaced all of them. So the refrigerator, the stove, dishwasher, took all that out and got new ones. And originally my plan was to sell them on Marketplace, but just the hustle and bustle of life, I completely forgot about them. So I think my contractor still has them at his house. Either he sold them or he's using them. So, yeah.
the kitchen, we have the infrastructure here for a nice spacious double sink. You know, the dishwashers here is kind of guard panels, right? So we have them right here, but we also have our main one right here also too. So that's where most of the electrical and such is. Some electrical, because putting some cooling in and putting some electrical, now I can add that to my square footage. Right now this does not count to the square footage because there is no cooling in there. There's no putting some outlets and such, not expensive at all. Can add to my square footage, which can in turn increase my price, so which increases my ROI. So that is what I plan on doing with this room. That
is exactly what happened with that sunroom right there. What I did was I did put some ventilation in for some cooling and heating, put a few outlets in there, and I was able to add that room to the square footage. So I took it, I think it was like 1,500 square foot, and then that additional 200 made like 1,700. And when the home sold, it sold for a record-breaking price on that specific street. And I think that was one of the reasons for it. Having that additional square footage literally gave me extra at least 10,000 in profits just by spending a little bit more money to add some ventilation. So investor tip right there.
fine. We are going to get it checked out by a licensed HVAC specialist to ensure that it is working fine, and that'll save me some money too. So as you guys see,
did not save money on the HVAC. So yeah, as I said there, the HVAC was fine. It was good. I was gonna get inspected by an HVAC inspector, and because it looked good, I was gonna save money there. What ended up happening was something that made me not save money.
Siding, you know, definitely pressure washing that. That pressure wash will get that green off of it. But this is still, you know, old. There's a
Sounds like Dragon Ball
Z a while ago.
Music.
So it definitely needs to be makes money. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That was such a cool take, you know, pulling the money out the pocket, just throwing it. That was prop money, by the way. I'm not gonna throw real money in the air because no matter how much money I get, I care about every single dollar.
You know, for this one, I think purchase price would be around $140 or so. So it would probably cost me.
Okay, so what I really liked about this video is I really did break down the numbers. A lot of people, when they're even give like real life examples, they don't really break down numbers and get into detail. But specifically in this scene, I really got into the number details as far as my acquisition costs.
$35K or so. I really hope that
Bro, my property rehab budget was $45,000. I just saw in this video, they said the rehab budget was $45,000. Okay, we'll see about that.
been good.
This is good.
Okay.
There's no big deal because if you don't find any piece, just we put a hand.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's it. This is gonna work.
Easy. Yep.
So we're gonna try to save it with the same.
Okay.
Where's the cabinet?
Okay. Cool.
And this one.
So it wasn't just me that wanted to save the cabinets. If you listen to that, the contractor said that we could save the cabinets. And you'll see in the video, that wasn't the case.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Place interior doors.
So that was major right there. So I don't know if you all missed that or not. So that first bedroom when you walked in, originally in that house, it was 3 beds, 1.5 bath, and there was no true primary bathroom in that particular home. So that half bathroom being in that bedroom, it was just weird, and I didn't feel like that bedroom was capable of being a primary bedroom. So what I did was make another bedroom, the primary bedroom, with the primary bathroom, and in turn, there's no point in having that room with a half bathroom. It's literally useless. So what we did was we took out that half bathroom and we made it a closet. And then we went from 3.1.5 to 3.2, which 3.2 has a lot more resale potential than a 3.1.5.
That's where your unforeseen costs come in.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna put the tub right here and the bed and the toilet.
Yeah.
This space we're gonna do for the closet.
So tub here, vanity, and mirror.
Seeing this space before it's done is really crazy, especially when you know how it really turned out. Because, yeah, like really looking at this space, we really made it come to life. Like it was nothing beforehand. Like it had no potential. It was just a big empty space. But we made this space into a real, like really high quality primary bathroom and a walk-in closet.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Vanity mirror here. Toilet here. Those right?
Yeah.
So if you missed that, I talked about moving the wall from that empty space. That's exactly what we did. I don't know how much we moved it, probably like 3 feet. But moving that wall, because it wasn't a load-bearing wall, it was very easy to do. And that really opened up the bedroom, because you can't really tell from the video, but originally that bedroom space was very tight. And yeah, it just wasn't good being very tight. It was wasted space. So when we moved that wall, we still had space to put in the primary bathroom and the walk-in closet. And then you have an even bigger bedroom space, which you'll see at the end of the video.
Cool. Electrical.
This is we got one here. This I think is working.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so that's for
that
that.
room was mad little.
And then I have to pay this, or I gotta send this deposit and all that. So they better be doing some things. Actually, should.
I don't think I really talked about it in the video, but during a lot of this rehab time, I was actually gone. Like I was traveling different places, and I was in different time zones. So I was having to wake up early to take these calls from the contractor, because what they did was phone sales. So phone sales is basically the contractor will go to the store, they'll pick out all the materials and such that they need, and when it's time to pay, they'll hand the phone to associate, or they'll call you, then they'll hand the phone to associate, and the associate would get your card number and then run the sale instead of just giving them your card, because you never really want to give somebody your card like that. So yeah, so I was having to do phone sales at like 4 a.m. my time, like all the time, and then sometimes they would miss stuff and then they would have to go right back. So I would try to fall asleep. I'm getting a call 15 minutes later. And phone sales, man, don't miss them,
because it's starting to add up. So looking forward to going in the property with y'all, showing y'all a breakdown of what we got going on now.
Like I said, it adds up, man. I think my original budget, like I had in the video, was 45K. I think I had hit 45K in like 2 weeks. Like there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done. The repairs are very expensive when you're doing a flip.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Let's check it out. Let's see the progress.
Okay. What is gonna be right here?
The steps.
I like the bricks too. So this area will make it the front.
So y'all can see right here where the wall got moved, where that brown spot is, I think, is where the previous wall was. And then where you see that newer wood, that's where the new wall began. So even though it doesn't look like a huge difference, moving the wall from there to there actually made a huge difference in opening up the room. And I know I've just talked about that, but like you can really see it here in this video how much it changed.
Everything frame we needed.
Cool.
And the floor.
Okay.
The floor and the plumbing.
Okay.
And the working and the light.
The lights. Okay. Got it. Okay.
All right, so y'all can see now it's starting to get done now. It's like almost like probably a bit over halfway done. They've put in the flooring now, replaced the flooring. So that subfloor that they were working on, they did that, and then they put flooring on top of it, put carpet in the bedrooms, they drywalled it out. So kind of flips, how they work is they work in different structures, right? So you're not going to do every single thing at once. You're not going to do the bathrooms, the flooring, the roof, and all this at once, just because there's simply not enough time. So usually it'll work from like bottom to top, let's say, or not bottom to top, I'm sorry, but they'll do different things. So like for mine, they did the roofing and the soffit, things like that. They did that first. So after they did the foundation, they finished drywalling it, making sure all the sheetrock and making sure all the sheetrock and drywall were all in the property. Then I want to say they did the painting, then they did the flooring. And it's just, I don't remember exactly which ones. Well, of course they did electrical, things like that, but just know they work in different stages on the flip. So don't expect your contractor to do every single thing at once or do everything in one weekend. Like, it's not how it works.
We are about 3 weeks behind on schedule right now. Not just 3 weeks behind on schedule, we are also over budget. We're over budget by a lot, and we're behind.
All right, so this is where I started to get tight in this video. There was yeah, so I thought I talked about it in this video, but maybe I didn't. So if you guys saw that clip just like 5 seconds ago that featured the cabinets, that had the new cabinets in there. But originally what happened was my contractor told me that I could keep my old cabinets, so I didn't estimate for new cabinets. So that's one thing why my rehab budget was lower also too, was I was going to keep the old cabinets. But what happened was we couldn't find all the materials to restore those old cabinets because the seller just had so many things in the home, and she said that they were there but they ended up not being there. So we had missing pieces, and these cabinets were kind of like special. Like they weren't just your regular Lowe's of the Mill cabinets. So we weren't able to keep the cabinets. And also I had paid to kind of add to those cabinets based on the previous cabinets. So I already paid adding cabinets there. And when we realized we didn't have all the stuff, I had to pay again for them to demo the old cabinets and then pay for them to install new cabinets. So constantly bleeding money just like that. And then like I mentioned, being over time and also being over budget, now I'm starting to get pretty tight.
See from a contractor and see if it can be spared. But if you look at it, you see how all broken up it is. They took the screws. It's literally about to fall to the ground now at this point. So I have to replace this HVAC unit. So we're already over budget. More money we're spending. All right. So let's head inside. So
I was actually pretty calm during that scene, but internally I was like inferno. It's pretty hot. Like, have you seen Fantastic Four? The human torch. That's how I was feeling. I was very, very upset. That happened, and honestly, it was my fault looking back on it. because I had a little fence, as you guys may be able to see in the video, where people can clearly see what was going on. And somebody had told me a few days before that event happened with the HVAC that, hey, you should probably, are you going to replace the fence? Are you going to get a higher fence? I was like, nah, I'm trying to save money. I don't really need to get a fence. Well, if I would have put it in a fence there, that could have saved that from happening. So after that HVAC thing happened, I did get a fence, like pretty much instantly. So yeah, but when getting a fence, also I had to pay people to take out some of the frames and some of the older fence and pay them again to install the fence. So very expensive mistakes that we're making.
They have put every single thing in the inside would be done.
I'm not watching this no more. I'm about to get irritated. Oh man, it's a Monday. It was a Monday in the afternoon. Not even in the morning, Monday afternoon, and nobody was at the home working. When we were weeks over budget. When we were weeks over time. Nobody was at the home working on the Monday. Is that a problem to you guys? Because it was a problem to me. So in this previous scene, what I didn't touch on though was that vanity that you guys will see in the primary bathroom. This is when like I started spying because everything was just going everything was just a bunch of bad things happening. So I found out about the HVAC being broken and stolen. And then I found out that nobody was there on a Monday morning. We're over budget, we're overtime, and my vanity that for the primary bathroom, it took forever to come in. And then when it finally came in, there was a big crack on it. And when I called the manufacturer, they said, oh, you can send it back and we'll send you another one. Well, I'm already over budget. I'm already over time. What is that going to do for me? That's nothing for me. So my contractor did redeem himself on that one though, because he found a solution where nobody could see that crack. But hey, homeowners out there, hey, you got a pretty functional home, you know. There's just a crack that you can't see in the vanity.
Completed, so I don't know where we're at.
Okay, all right. So PSA. So we did some research, and it looks like a lot of people that are watching do not subscribe to the channel. So please do me a favor, because I'm giving you guys these free videos, free high-level information on real estate and real estate investing. Please, just for me. All you gotta do is click the subscribe button, just subscribe to the channel. Oh, also, just bonus, just share it with a friend who can find this helpful. Thank you.
It took us a while to get here. We had to go through all the hurdles, the obstacles, the ups, the downs, but we're finally here. The flip has finally been completed. Well, it's actually 99% completed. Finally,
the flip has been completed. So we're gonna take a look at it, look at the final things. You guys saw the before, you saw the during, now you're gonna see the after. This was a 120-day project, so that is 4 months. And I believe he has said probably 2 months, maybe. I don't remember exactly how long that he said, but I believe he said 2 months. So we went way over time, and thank God I purchased this property with creative financing, because if I used like a hard money lender, I would have been really stressing out, because yeah, I would have been pushing right against my time. And then a lot of times with hard money lenders, you have a certain deadline. If you miss that deadline, you're going to get hit with crazy interest, where even if you sell it, you're not going to profit at all. So shout out to creative financing, saving my behind. And also creative financing limited my holding costs while I'm holding the property all this time. Because you got to think, when you're flipping the property, you still have to pay utilities. You still need water on, you still need gas, you still need electrical. So you're paying for it all in this time, even though you're not living in it.
Got the HVAC guy working, but other than that, pretty much all done. So come on, let's take a look and let's see the final product. So this fireplace was definitely an interesting touch. Very creative idea. I haven't seen it. Rare that you'll find somebody who replaces an entire electrical panel. I do.
That was an underrated star of the show. That laundry room specifically, if you all remember from the previous scenes how busted it was. Literally, there was drywall insulation all over the place. There was like 2 egresses and ingresses, like one like here and one right here. So we closed that wall off. We also moved the electrical panel. Well, we completely replaced the electrical panel and put a brand new electrical panel. We moved the wall in, kind of eliminating that unneeded space. We put all new windows in there. We replaced like a broken area, I'll say, in the bricks. there was like so much done in there. So I say it's like an underrated starter show because just doing things in there costs a good portion, but it worked at the end of the day. So as long as it works.
Bathroom area, we got a floating vanity. I really like this one. I actually had to look deep on the internet to find this one, which is provides some great lighting also. And even this button, like you can turn that on if you.
Big fan of LED mirrors. I will say I try to put those in my properties when possible, because honestly they're not that expensive to get and they're not really that expensive to do, especially if you already have electrical that's in there, but they make a huge difference. Like especially now with social media, people are huge on aesthetics, and just putting an LED mirror can go a very long way and help sell your property quicker or get your property rented out quicker too. That, and then the waterfall faucets too. I always try to do that in properties. Just a little tip for y'all.
Make sure that whoever buys this really fully enjoys it.
All right, so we're gonna look at the before and afters. Really want y'all to take some peeks at these because this really amazed me out of the whole project. Because when you're going through it, it's like, okay, cool. But like when you really like take a look at before and after, it's like, yo, like we really did this.
Selling it.
Amazing before and after, if I might say. I'm not like I'm biased or anything. But so we looked at the before and after. Now this is getting back into the numbers again. As I talked about my numbers during the acquisition process, I'm also going to recap my entire numbers, recapping the numbers of the acquisition process, but recapping how much I made, how much the rehab costs, all the costs associated with this. So I really got in depth and details into numbers on this scene. And if you are a real estate investor struggling to understand numbers, you really need to watch this next scene right here, because I got literally give the whole spill on all the numbers with nothing held back.
$8,313.02, and that includes me paying my closing costs, the seller's closing costs, and also giving them $5,000. So why I actually gave them $5,000 was because the seller
for my rehab number was almost 89,000 with an original rehab budget of 45,000. Now, if that was anybody else, that would have killed them. They would have lost a ton of money on the flip, and they probably would have done a flip again. But I buy my deals smart in the sense that I leave a lot of spread. I leave a lot of room there. So me purchasing the deal smart, me getting the deal at a lower number helped me to not lose money on the deal, because I would have lost money on the deal if I had brought a tight deal. But there was so much margin, there was so much spread there. So that helped me not lose money on the deal. So I want you guys as real estate investors to also remember that if your deal is tight, you're in a bad spot, because what's going to happen is going to be unforeseen things. You're going to go over budget, you're going to go over time, and if your deal's already tight, you're going to lose money on it. But I went over budget, literally 2 times over my budget. I went 2 times over my time, and I still profited very well, but it's because I brought the deal smart.
$122.60 is my total net profit for completing this entire project. So it's really cool because
that is really cool, because that's why they call it a flip, because you're just flipping money. So for me to purchase the property in the first place, to even get in a deal, it cost me $8K. And then a few months later, total net after every single thing is paid off, I turned that $8K into $56K. And if I really want to get, go for titles, things like that, turn that $8K to $174K. But of course, you got to subtract everything. After you subtract all the costs associated with the sale from that $174K, you get a number, and that number will equal to a total complete net profit of $55K, or about $56K. So I think that's pretty solid. I mean, where else? What other? You can't put it in a savings account. You can't put it in a stock. You can't put it in a crypto, where you're going to go from 8K to 56K in just a few short months. So that's why I'm a huge proponent of real estate investing. So that was my recap of me doing my first flip. It was kind of cool walking down memory lane and just reliving, even though some of the painful experiences that I went through during this flip, but there was also great moments of joy and, being able to remember my feeling as I was able to get that check and, have a huge profit from something, you know, literally make something out of nothing. And not even just the money that I made from the deal, but just seeing a house completely transformed from this broken down, beaten up house to a beautiful, amazing home that I wanted to live in myself. So that's why I'm a big fan of real estate investing. There's just so many different avenues, so much profit potential. So if you're not investing in real estate yourself, you should be. And if you want to know how to do it, watch the next video. Bye.